Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. So in this video, we are going to explore about NMAT and also we are going to learn what should be done rightly in order to crack the language section of this particular exam. Before we begin, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Juhi Narula. I have 12 years of experience in training students for CAT, GMAT and GRE. I also happen to be a life skills coach and a content creator. I've done my bachelor's in technology and master's in business administration. This is the Telegram channel, so you can join me here so that you get the notifications for all the upcoming sessions and classes I take. Also, apart from our wonderful sessions that we offer you on YouTube, we also offer you special classes which are on Unacademy's app. Those sessions are free for everyone. All you need to do is go to the Play Store, download the app and unlock it using the code JNLive10. Now we also have two subscriptions to offer, which we call Plus and Iconic. In Plus, there are live classes, there are structured courses, study material is provided, there is unlimited access to the sessions. In Iconic, you get all the benefits of Plus. Apart from this, there would be a personal coach who's going to handhold you in the entire journey of preparation. There's a detailed study planner which is provided. Then there is one-on-one live mentoring, detailed test analysis, and expert guidance. So these are the amazing features of our Iconic subscription. You can either go for Plus or Iconic, and you can choose the package depending the year in which you are going to appear for CAT. You can also use the code JNLive10 to get a 10% off on any of the subscription plans that you pick. The same code can be used to unlock the special classes on Unacademy's platform, and the same can be used to participate in the combats that happen every Sunday. So let's get started. NMAT is a test conducted by GMAC. GMAC is the test taking body for GMAT also, which is another management entrance test. Now, the nature of NMAT is adaptive. So, what do we mean by adaptive test? That the first question that you're going to get would be of average difficulty level. If you perform well in that particular question, the difficulty level of the next question would increase and also the associated marks with the question. In case you are not able to solve the question rightly, the difficulty level of the question will go down and also the associated marks with it. So for every question, it would be decided that what would be the difficulty level for the next question. I hope I make sense. If you do the question rightly, the difficulty level increases and also the marks associated with it. If you're not doing the question rightly, then the difficulty level would go down. So NMAT would be having a pool of questions, and the question that you're going to get would be dependent on how do you perform in the first question, the next question, and so on. Another important thing that there is no explicit negative marking, since the pattern is like this, that you are being rewarded and you're being punished, or you're being penalized for the incorrect question in such a way that the difficulty level is dropping down. So there is no explicit negative marking. However, you are penalized for not answering the questions. So you need to keep this in mind, that what is the penalty that we do not know, but you have to attempt all the questions, right? So in case you're not attempting, you will be having a penalty for it. There is no absolute score, so that would also be not possible because the way the questions appear, so there cannot be any absolute score. You are given scaled scores. So how are you given scaled scores? I'll tell you in some time. Also, interesting part is that you've got three sections in an NMAT. You will be having reasoning, you'll be having quant, and you'll be having the verbal section. So each section has got equal weightage. It is not that you'll be having more weightage for verbal or less in reasoning. Nothing of that sort. Each section would be having the same weightage. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. Also, it is very important that NMAT is a speed driven test. So your speed should be absolutely perfect. You should be able to solve the desired number of questions in the given time. I will just explain you the entire structure of NMAT in a short while. Another important thing that NMAT is doing is continuing with the last year's trend. You can appear for the test either by going to the center, or you can be at your home and you can do the test. So however you wish, if you wish to go to the center and appear, you can do that. If you want to sit at home and solve the paper, that's also possible. And the best part is that you will be getting an unofficial scorecard right after completing the test. The same is the pattern with GMAT also. NMAT also has got the same trend that once you finish the test, you will be getting an unofficial scorecard. However, there is an official scorecard that is sent by GMAT after some time. This is one very interesting feature of the test, that you can choose the section from where you would like to begin the test. So here you can play with your strengths. I usually advise the students that you should begin the paper with the section in which you are the most confident. That really helps you, do better in the exam. See, initially when we enter the examination hall or we appear for the test, we are jittery, right? We are not very confident. We usually feel, negative, or we usually, do not have that positive vibe. But once you get into the flow or momentum, you start getting that confidence and you start getting into the rhythm. So if you start with something that you find difficult, it is going to not influence your test taking in a positive way. If you start with something that brings confidence, that is something that is your strength, you can solve it quickly, then you would be feeling more empowered to deal with the difficult sections. Right now, NMAT has got another feature where you can take three attempts. So there, if you're not satisfied with the first score, you can go for the second attempt. In case you're not happy with the second score, you can go for the third attempt. However, Narsi Monji is not considering the retake score. So Narsi Monji is going to take the first score of NMAT that you are going to get. So please keep this in mind if you are targeting Narsi Monji, of course, which is one of the premier institutes for which NMAT conducts the test. So two things: sectional cutoff has to be cleared. That is a mandatory requirement. And another is that NMAT for retake scores are not considered by Narsi Monji. Other institutes do consider the best out of the three scores, but with Narsi Monji, there are no retake scores considered. Please note this down. Now, this is how the paper pattern is. For language, quant, and logical reasoning, for all the three sections, you are getting 36 questions. So, in totality, there would be 108 questions that you need to solve in 2 hours. The time division goes like this. In language section, you need to complete the 36 questions in 28 minutes. In quant, you are given 52 minutes, and reasoning, you are given 40 minutes. So as you can, I'm sure, very easily observe that in verbal, you have got the same number of questions, but time provided is less. So that is the reason I am really emphasizing on the idea that you have to really put an effort in language section, because you will be given very less time and the number of questions remain to be the same. So this is the scaled score. So like I mentioned before, that in NMAT you are not given absolute score. So there is a scaled score that ranges from 12 being the minimum and 120 being the maximum for each section. So your overall score would be coming somewhere in the range between 36 to 360. So of course, if you are getting a score like 340, 350, then your chances are exceptionally high to be taken by the premium universities which are taking NMAT score, 36 being the minimum, 360 being the maximum score. Now, this is how the language section syllabus has been defined by NMAT. So now when we talk about CAT, we are all preparing for CAT. So we primarily know that reading comprehension, parajumble, summary, odd one out questions. These are the four major types that you are seeing in CAT, right? However, when we talk about other management entrance tests, there is a high possibility that you will be getting vocab driven questions. In NMAT, in vocab section, you will be getting questions which are based on antonyms, synonyms, analogies, close test, fill in the blanks. So recently I have started with this series which happens at 9 a.m. This is on the app. So this is on Unacademy's app where I have started taking NMAT sessions. So you can be a part of these sessions where we'll be practicing all these question types rigorously. Now in grammar, so apart from comprehension and verbal ability, vocabulary and grammar becomes really important components in other management entrance tests. So here, identify the error would be major question types. For that, you need to know the basic definitions, you need to know the basic errors, you need to solve some questions so that you're able to, get to the right answer. At times, we try to answer these questions on our instinct. Whatever sounds correct to us, we'll pick up that answer. But if you are, targeting top-notch universities or colleges, this approach is not pragmatic. So identify the error and choose the preposition. So these are two areas which will be tested under the grammar umbrella. And in comprehension, you'll be definitely getting reading comprehensions and para jumble. So if you are preparing for CAT, this particular area I'm sure is sorted. We need to put more effort in vocabulary and grammar. Now, we know the number of questions, we know the time that will be provided, we know the structure of the exam. So, how do we accomplish the goal so that we get all the questions right? And please remember, like I told you before, NIMS is going to, have a sectional cutoff. So, you need to clear the cutoff of verbal as well. So, what do we do, right? First thing is you can appear for a mock test. Usually, I always advise my students that once you begin the preparation of any exam, you appear for a mock so that you get a general idea as to what remains to be your strength or weaknesses so that the plan can be chalked out accordingly. At times, what do? We just start with our preparation, considering that probably we are struggling in grammar or we are, more confident in vocabulary. But when we give the exam, the equation changes or there might be some variations here and there. So you can get only, a clear picture once you appear for the exam. So I would strongly recommend that give a mock test so that you get an understanding that what is the expectation of the paper, what you are able to manage, what you are not able to manage, where would you want more effort, and then you can chalk out a plan accordingly. Right now, what should the plan incorporate? So you should work on the fundamentals. Like if you want to solve a question based on a sentence correction where you have to identify an error, you need to know the tenses. You can't just get away with that particular idea. So knowing the basic fundamentals would be important. It is not here needed that you get into the details, learn everything which grammar books Wren and Martin like are offering, but we need to know what should be appropriate and apt, which should help us crack the question. So we need to draw a line somewhere. Then of course, I always am a firm believer in having the right strategic approach to solve the questions. Solving the questions without approach might give you accuracy and sometimes might not, but if you are following a logical approach, you would know how to tackle the most easiest to the most difficult question. While you are preparing, it is very important to track your errors. Identify that what are the common mistakes that you're doing every time. Because until and unless your error tracking is done, you would not be able to identify that where do you need to put more effort. And it is very important to get accustomed and conditioned to the exam, right? So you need to understand that in which slot are you going to go for the exam. Now, are you able to manage the stress of time? Which section are you going to choose? And then you can, while you're preparing or appearing for the mocks, you can play around. You can see that, okay, if you feel, say, LR is your strength, you start with LR and see whether it is feasible to begin the paper with reasoning actually in the exam, or if you have some other strategy in your mind, you can apply all the strategies while you're giving the mocks. And the mocks really help you to get accustomed and conditioned to the requirement of the exam. Now, since you know that you'll be getting questions based on vocabulary, so I would strongly recommend that you dedicate at least 10 minutes of your preparation time to enhance your vocabulary. We have talked about a lot of vocabulary building strategies. You'll find many of my videos helping you out on key vocabulary building sessions and strategies. So you can watch those videos and get some insight. However, few suggestions are learn root words, create mnemonics, create flashcards, right? Know the complete meaning of the word. So associate the word. So that's how the retention becomes better. Now, grammar also becomes at times an issue which creates a lot of trouble. So my suggestion would be that at least 15 minutes to 20 minutes, however time permits, however your schedule permits you, revise or work on few fundamentals of grammar, right? Few essential concepts that you need to know. If you will not know the concepts, then just you'll be marking the questions and the answers randomly, which is strictly not recommended. Now, like I said, get accustomed to the exam. So you have to see that if you are given this target of sub completing 36 questions in 28 minutes, how well are you performing, how many questions are you able to complete, and what is your accuracy. So you can create a chart and map your scores on everyday basis to see how much improvement is happening, right? That would also help us keep track of time and help us assess that what are the questions which we can solve quickly and what are the questions which are taking a lot of time, and we can change our plans accordingly. I always believe that practicing is very important, giving mocks is very important, but all the more which is important is to do rigorous analysis. If your analysis is weak, despite if you're despite the fact that you're solving 100, 200, 300 questions, you will not see the improvement. Improvement will only happen when your analysis is rock solid. So that is something which is highly recommended. Track your progress, see that okay, so once I started with 36 questions and I'm getting 30 correct, after 4 days is my score going up? If not, then why? Right? So when you will basically try and find out that what are the weak areas that are creating trouble, then you will see that there is remarkable improvement happening. If you are not doing the analysis, your score is not improving, and still you are practicing, that means the effort is not happening in the right direction. So we need to ensure that our effort happens in the right direction. And one important advice is stay consistent. Exams like CAT, NMAT, SNAP would require effort on daily basis. One day you are studying, 3 days you are not studying, then you will not see the improvements happening, right? And that we wouldn't want. So these are few important tips that you need to keep in mind. Like I said, that we are having exclusive sessions at 9 a.m. on the app for NMAT preparation. So you're most welcome to be a part of those sessions. Those sessions are free. All you need to do is go to the Play Store, download the app, and unlock it using the code JN Live10. So this is the code JN. So Juhi Narula, JN Live, LIVE 10. So you can, in case you are planning to go for NMAT, there are specific batches also on the app that you will be able to find. So that's an investment that you're doing for your own self. So you should not think twice before enrolling. We go to an expensive coffee shop and you would just spend money, 1200, 2000 bucks just to enjoy a cup of coffee with our friends. So here the fees is very nominal and the benefits are immense. So you can you should not even think twice before enrolling if you're looking for the looking to be a part of your dream colleges. And also we are having one additional mock test that's going to happen on 14th November 2021. So you can enroll for this particular mock also. Again, the simple way to enroll is go to the app and you can use the code JNLife10. So I hope you liked the session. Please be very regular in your efforts, stay consistent, work very, very hard. All the best. Take care.